Lindsey Dietz. I think as a performer, your mind always goes back to day one. And for me, it was as a stunt performer when I got my first opportunity to stunt double. It had been something that I've been working towards for a year or more. And you just, when a coordinator gives you that trust and has that first hire for you, I will have so much appreciation, and I was working with great performers, all veterans, and it was just probably that is my go-to when I think of everything I've done. And we've been doing some cool stuff in Alberta that I've been able to be a part of, but that day one of something that you've worked towards for a long time is pretty memorable. Well, I have a house full of kids, so that keeps me busy. But my biggest passion right now is when I'm not performing, I'm working towards performing. So for me, currently, that's writing, working towards writing and producing my own films, which has been great because the highs and lows of the industry, it can feel like you're not working for months, but having my own creative endeavors just really keep me focused and passionate and keep the creative wheels turning. And I feel like I'm always working even when it's not on set. So yeah, writing takes up a lot of my time these days. Well, my background is music. I was a musician before film, so that's a huge part of my life, and it still is today. Another aspect would be community. I love being involved in my community. I'm from a small rural town, and I volunteer at our local thrift store, and I try and get involved in community events. I'm from a place that there's been a lot of filming happening with, so I feel like the industry in my small town have come together, and I've been a part of certain meetings that we've had with film coming to town. So when I can collide those two worlds, it's a passion of mine. I just had a short film that I shot in my small town, so community is a big part of, I think, what I'm involved in these days. I'm not really versed on directors. There is a local director that I shot a commercial with in Edmonton, Blake McWilliams, and I think he does more producing these days, but I loved how he worked with us as the actors and how he worked with the crew and the way he shot it and just made it so comfortable. So whenever I think of directors, I think someone like him I would join in a project with. I would love to hire someone like that. The commercial was shot very well, so yeah, I think him. That's always a hard one for, I think, any individual. My go-to is Band of Brothers. I think that series was done so well, not only from like a filmmaker's standpoint or from an actor standpoint, but just, I mean, we have ties to the military, and just getting a glimpse of what they were able to capture and the authenticity of that, even their casting in regards to like those real men that served in that battalion. Like it is just, I think it's one of the best things ever put out in the world as far as films. I love historical stuff and dramas. So yeah, I think if no one has watched Band of Brothers, they need to do that. As a performer, the highs are so high and the lows are so low. And I wish I would have known, like, they never last. The highs never last and the lows never last. And I've been a part of some amazing projects, and you feel like, you're almost in this little like in this little bubble that's so unrealistic to the normal world. But that never lasts. And then I've been in these lows where it's these droughts, and I don't know how many times I wanted to toss in the towel thinking I would never get another job, whether it's stunt performing or acting, and those never last. So just putting it into perspective, like, you got to work hard to create opportunities, but hold it loosely. There's bigger, more meaningful things in life, but if we can make a living or dabble into the things that we're passionate about, that's amazing. But yeah, I guess to sum it all up, the highs never last and the lows never last, and I always have to remind myself of that.